Hello, hello, everybody. I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, your podcast host and the podcast coach and the podcast hostess with the mostest, here giving you food for thought, giving you podcasting tips one-on-one on various different things that different people have asked me personally, or something maybe I scrolled on the web and saw that they asked. And so I am doing my best to answer a lot of those questions because Lord knows y'all have been in my inbox hunting. And now this is our way of giving back to all of you. Now, this is free and generalized information, which means if you're looking for customized information, then you need to reach out to be a part of our subscription program where you can ask your customized question and I answer it for you, or take it to the next level and be a part of our CTR Media Network membership exclusive, where you'll not only be a part of our community, you'll get a website and all this other stuff and promotion, but you'll get monthly training as well as a one-on-one with me every single month, so that you can be able to scale up and grow your podcast in the way of success or whichever you measure it. But on today, what are we talking about? We're talking about the art of editing your podcast, tips and techniques for editing your podcast for perfection. Now, I don't agree with for perfection, but get as close as you can get, because nothing perfect. But what I really love about editing, okay? So you can't really do this when you are a live podcasting show, because we have live podcasting shows, and I for years have been a 100% live show. Every now and then I do a pre-recorded, but now this for season 8 we're doing pre-recorded. And so having experience on both ends of the spectrum, you can't really utilize this when you are live, because what you see is what you get when you go live. If your internet is shabby, it start getting a bad connection, it's going to show. If it's working great, it's going to show. Good or bad, it's going to show, because you're live and you can't control it. It's just live, okay? But we're talking about this from a pre-recorded standpoint. But I could tell what, no, before I go there, let me go back. Say, for example, you do a live, okay, and you had some issues that went along with it that was out of your control, such as internet connectability for yourself or for your guests, or maybe it was some glitches or whatever the case may be. What you can do after that video is actually recorded live. You can go back and then you can splice it, edit it out, the bad parts, add in some commercial slides, do whatever it is to make it look that premium version that you absolutely desire and you absolutely love. You can do that after you do your live. Now, in pre-record, when you do a pre-recorded show, editing is actually king, because it doesn't matter what happens during that interview. Somebody can have to get a dog can bark, whatever. You can use the power of editing to edit all that out and make it look like nothing ever happened. That is the power of editing, and it's a true art. So if you're not an editor, that is a skill that so many people do editing, but they just doing it because they can't afford, or they don't want to pay an editor. But if you can afford a qualified editor, let them do it, because an editor is a storyteller. An editor tells a story through the different phases or frames of your show, to be able to tell a uniform story, to be able to have an experience. They're not just watching, they're having an experience when they're watching your show, right? And so having an editor actually helps with all of that, because it helps create the feel of your show. And some techniques. So say, for example, you just started, you're like, well, I don't have no money to do no editor. Okay, so what you're going to do, these are some tips that I could say is really, really good. You can use what they call InShot. InShot is a free, well, they have a free version, but they also have a paid version where you spend about $60 for the year, and you can go in and edit whatever videos you want to edit. And I've been using InShot for years when I do editing myself. However, I do have an editor and videographer and photographer. And so if I'm doing something real quick, I use InShot just for myself. Now, they do also have this thing called iMovie that is exclusive to the iPhones. That's really, really good. You can use that. And then they also have editing software named Filmora. Filmora used to have a lifetime situation, but now you have to pay monthly. But it is really, really good. Filmora is really, really good. So if you're looking for software that can do those thirds, lower thirds, they can do them transitions, basically make a whole movie. If you know how to utilize and work for more to its full capacity, you can have a very great look and feel. They also have other editing software that you can actually use in order to edit your content, edit your thing, your video, your podcast to look and feel like regular TV. I would encourage you to utilize it and get used to using all of these different things. So let me see, can I pull up so that you can see how InShot actually looks when you go to your store. So let me go. I'm gonna go to my app store and then you can see how it looks. So when you go to it, it will actually look like this. And this particular one is in your Android store as well as in your Apple store. See? InShot. Let me see. You see? So you go in and you do InShot, and they do have a yearly subscription, and I've been subscribed to them for the year, so many different years. And then they have this thing called CapCut that you can use as well. I'm not sure about their paid version, but for now I'm using their free version. And then they have other apps. So what I would say is just Google in your app store good editing software, and then you can use that. And I would encourage you to utilize it because editing can be something that can make or break your show. You can have editing, but it's not good editing, and then people are like, ooh, look at that. But then you can have editing that is so great that people be like, whoa, did you see that? And that's what you want at the end of the day when you have an editing, to at least for them to have a good viewing and listening experience when they are ingesting or taking in your content as a podcast content creator. It's not hard to do all of these different little things from your phone. But when you start getting into the techie stuff, I would encourage you, once you get into position to do so, to hire you a qualified editor to do this, to break down your videos, your longer content videos into short segments, which is shorts on YouTube, and they call them reels on Facebook, which is the same as that thing. It's just that Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok have different lengths that they consider to be short content, where some like Facebook stories, I think, is about 15 seconds or 20 seconds, and whereas another platform is like 60 seconds is considered a short content. Then another place is 30 seconds is considered short content. So whatever parameters that the platform that you're on that is considered short content, you want to make sure that you have your videos broken down, your podcast video broken down to follow the policies and procedures of that particular platform, and utilize that in order to encourage and engage with people to come and watch the full episode. So you just wouldn't pull just a random clip from your video. You will pull something that will incite, engage for them to react to your content. So something that you feel that is important, something that you feel that is relevant, something that you feel that will motivate them to hit that subscribe button, or at least go and watch the entire episode of your show, just to, even if they watching it just to get to that segment that they heard, that little piece, that little snippet. That is the power and the art of editing for your podcast, to draw people in. Some people call it clickbait. You know, they put out certain things. Think about it. Go watch different podcast shows. Go watch different shows in general. When we have movies, when we have television shows, don't they have different little, what they call previews? What is that? That's editing to give you an overall synopsis of whatever it is that the movie is about. And they just don't pull just a regular part. They pull inciting or captivating or emotional driven parts from that particular show or episode. And that's what you need to do. to draw people in to watch your show, to draw people in to opt in, to subscribe and like and follow, and most importantly, to build that relationship so they will be comfortable with engaging and also engage not only with yourself, but with your viewing guests. Your viewing audience as well as your guests and whatever it is that they're providing or promoting. It's a win-win situation. You want to provide that good entertainment, that good informative information, but you also want to be able to draw in new audiences that may not know you. And maybe the first time that they experience your podcast or video podcast, they experience it in a clip first, because with the algorithms now, they really put privy to short content. So they will more than likely see your short content before they see your long content. So make sure when you're putting out short content, it's relevant and it draws in them and it creates the right feel that you're looking for. On that note, I am getting ready to go. This is the end of the video. And this video was actually about the art of editing, tips and techniques for editing your podcast for perfection. Go ahead and check out that InShot and CapCut and Filmora and all of that, which I feel are great tools that I personally use, okay, for my podcasting. And I also have an editor that actually uses Filmora, because hunting, I don't know how to work all that kind of stuff, but just the small ticky stuff for my phone. So check that out.